Good morning and welcome back to BIFA TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today we're joined once again by Ian Matheson for this week's What the Papers Say. So Ian, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thank you, Brooke. I had a nice bank holiday, and
Yeah.
but I did, spend a little bit of time thinking about the poor employees of BIFA members who had to work their bank holiday to keep the UK's international trade moving.
Yeah, certainly. I know a lot relies on the work that they do to keep the supply chains moving, like you said.
Yeah, and also appreciate that BIFA members in Scotland they had no choice but to work as it was not a
Yeah.
bank holiday there.
No, of course. So what have we got coming up for this week's episode?
Well, Brooke, in container shipping, the order book is reported to have surged to 31.7% of fleet capacity. Its highest since 2010. There's 1 million TEU of capacity set for delivery this year, and with demand soft, people are saying rates are probably going to slide further.
Mm.
Disciplined capacity management, mind you, by the shipping lines could define winners in this volatile cycle.
Yeah, I know that a couple of people have said that to kind of keep that balance, a large proportion of the box ship fleet that were produced before 2010, they said that they'd have to be scrapped.
Yeah, I read that too, but I've not seen a lot of it happening this year so far.
No.
Now, as well as an oversupply of container capacity that might last until 2035, there's another challenge to rates on the horizon, and that's the upcoming US charges on Chinese built ships, which may also lift costs for American bound cargo while
Mm.
diverting the excess capacity to other trades, which will push spot rates lower on those trades.
Yeah, well, we've certainly got some rocky times ahead, so it'll be one to watch. So what else have we got?
Yep, Zanita's making waves again. Brooke, it's snapped up EEC to jazz up its
Hmm.
freight rate offering with juicy extras like transit times, data on sailing schedule reliability, as well as cancellations. I mean, Zanita is a data company, as you know, delivering rate insights, and will now be dishing out operational information too, giving shippers a sharper toolkit than just price tags.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a headline grabbing deal.
It certainly was, and it's the industry appears to be betting big on real-time intelligence to keep cargo flowing and headaches in check.
Certainly. So when we're looking at those container rates, how are they looking? Have they moved?
Yeah, Brooke, to August the 21st, Drury's Composite World Container Index saw a decline for the 10th consecutive week. It
Hmm.
decreased 4% to $2,250 per 40-foot container.
Mm. I also read that rates from Shanghai to Rotterdam, I'm pretty sure it was, they fell 6%.
Yeah, we're talking about a composite rate, and the rates
Yeah.
fall at different levels on different trade lanes. Anyway, in the air freight arena, there's been some good news for one of the UK's leading express air freight hubs. East Midlands Airport said it had recorded a sharp rise in volumes over the past 3 months and defying wider market trends.
Yeah, I know the report said it handled over 103,000 tonnes of cargo between May and July, which is a 17.4% increase when you're looking at that same period last year.
That's right, yeah, and volumes were up 19% year on year last month, 24% in June, and 9.7% in May.
They certainly were. And I know, kind of switching topics slightly, I know there's been some movement with the dreaded T word that we talk about, hasn't there?
Oh, there certainly has, Brooke. Yeah, the US and EU have finalised a new framework agreement for
Hmm.
trade, and that introduces a 15% tariff on most imports from the EU, including automotive, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and lumber. In return, the EU will eliminate tariffs on US industrial goods and expand food market access for US businesses.
It's definitely something that our members kind of operating between the EU and the USA, it's something that they'll need to watch out for.
That's right. Yeah, anybody doing cross-trade business between the EU and the USA. Now,
Yeah.
with all the turbulence caused by Donald Trump's tariff shenanigans, I've read a report that some 76% of UK exporters are actively diversifying beyond the US market. Many are redrawing their global growth strategies, turning to the Middle East and the Asia Pacific markets as promising alternatives. And evidence suggests that UK exporters are not just braving the tariff storm, they're steering their sails towards sunnier markets.
Yeah. Again, it's definitely something that our members should keep an eye out for and kind of watch the developments in that.
That's right, Brooke. And back on the subject of air cargo, the International Air Cargo Association, which is better known as TIACA, released its first white paper, which is focused entirely on e-commerce and addresses some of the forces that are reshaping the global air logistics business. The white paper offers a comprehensive analysis of the sector's rapid growth, its inherent complexities, and the opportunities for innovation and leadership.
Yeah, I know it said that at the end of last year, e-commerce made up 20% of kind of all global air cargo volumes. And I know they said that it's looking to double at least within the next decade.
Indeed, yeah, indeed, Brooke, yeah. This surge, which was accelerated obviously by COVID-driven shifts in consumer
Yeah.
behaviour, has fundamentally reshaped supply chains, as you know, and created entirely new business models and revealed urgent gaps in regulation, standardisation, and infrastructure. It's a 16-chapter report, and it addresses the critical issues, including customs management, safety and security, process simplification, harmonized data standards, final mile and reverse logistics, as well as innovation and sustainability.
Yeah, it's definitely one for our members to read, isn't it? Especially if they're operating in that sector.
Oh, absolutely, Brooke. And I know a lot of members are now moving into that sector.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, for on a different subject, for older viewers, I'd like to conclude with an and finally, if you'll allow me.
Yeah, of
Last
course.
week, last week, BIFA welcomed the UK's government's decision to delay further border target operating model implementation and take a more reasoned, phased approach while SBS agreement details are finalised. And by postponing further checks on imports such as live animals and non-qualifying Northern Ireland goods, the government has demonstrated an understanding of the operational and economic challenges facing British freight forwarders, producers, and retailers.
Yeah, and I know it will certainly give our members that kind of breathing space that they need, but also you're looking at it reducing the risk of disruption as well, aren't you?
Indeed, yeah, the freight and logistics sector has long called for clarity and stability, and this
hmm
announcement reflects the meaningful progress that's being made in that direction.
Yeah, of course it was a good to see announcement when it came through. All right, well, thank you so much, Ian, as always, for this update. I know that our members will find it of use. The links to all of the reports and the articles we've discussed today will be in the description as always. That's all for today's edition of B for TV, your daily dose of industry information.